Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lizzie and I like to read books most of the time. I have been in a severe slump, which I get into. That's kind of what this whole video is about, my book slump and reading and all of that. But this video does contain spoilers of Beach Read by Emily Henry. But if you go to the end where I'm sitting looking the exact same, because I'm filming the intro and conclusion same day because I didn't make an intro for this video, then I'm gonna do a spoiler free area and just kind of like talk about the book and what I liked and all of that. So if you don't want to like hear any spoilers, because they are throughout this vlog, then just skip to the end. Okay, so I have been in the biggest book slump of my life, and I'm quiet because my roommates are sleeping, but I've been in the world's biggest book slump. I have not read anything in like over a month, and that book took me forever to finish. So I am gonna try to get out of it. I've been really busy with school, so I've kind of just been like whatever about it. But sorry, I keep moving around. I'm trying to figure out like where I'm not, you can't see the glare, but it doesn't matter. I think you can see it wherever I'm at. But I haven't really done anything about it because I've been so crazy with school. But I kind of have a little bit of, not downtime, but sort of downtime, and I would like to fill it with reading again. I just have had no inspiration for anything, but we're gonna try and change that. So I brought 3 physical copy books, and I also have some on my Kindle, obviously, but I'm gonna try to read a physical copy book because I feel like that'll even help more with the slump. Like if I can read a real book instead of something on an electronic. But I have 3. I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I really wanted to read the Harry Potter series this fall. I thought that would just be like really fun and, you know, a really good fall winter read to read the entire series. It does not look like that's gonna happen. I haven't even gotten into the first one. So I brought that though. I also brought 2 other books. I brought Confess by Colleen Hoover, which again, like I started, I think I'm like 10 pages in and then stopped. Oh, I did start Harry Potter, by the way, but as you can see, I got like 5 pages in. That's been my theme. And then I also brought Beach Read. Yeah, those are the books. I don't know which one I'm gonna read. I feel like Beach Read is kind of like not in the spirit for that anymore. I kind of brought it because I was thinking more towards the beginning of the semester, if we were ever outside or like we went to the park or something, I could just bring the book and still enjoy it while the weather was nice. But now that it's getting colder, I definitely want to read something more like fall and cozy and that. So I think we're gonna try with Harry Potter. I just basically described, you know, Harry Potter. So we're gonna try, we're gonna see. I will keep you guys updated. Harry Potter did not work out, y'all. I read a little bit. I even filmed me reading some of it and finished the first chapter and was like, absolutely not. Also, I'm really sorry about the glare. Tomorrow I will like not wear these, but I decided to pick up the one book I said was not the vibe for the beginning of the fall, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. And I'm actually really liking it so far. Like I actually want to turn the page and like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, trying to figure out what's happening, because I have absolutely no clue what this book is about, like at all. Like I didn't read the back. I just know it's really popular, and I don't know if I said this, but I've never read an Emily Henry book before, so this is my first one. I know people are obsessed with book lovers, and I think People We Meet on Vacation is also by her, and I've never read either of those, so I'm excited. Like I'm actually feeling like, oh, I want to keep going. Okay, hello guys. So it's been like about 4 days, a week later, and I ended up going home for the weekend. So I like kind of took some of the books back that I had initially showed in the video that I had to like choose from, and I brought some other books home or back to school here. So obviously I have beach read, and I'm only like a couple more chapters in. We figure out who Gus is, that he's like her neighbor and her like rival from college, but when she was describing it, it didn't really sound like they were rivals. I don't know, that was just my take. It just kind of seemed like it was more in her head. I don't really know. Maybe we'll get like more backstory and like, oh, they are legit rivals. But it just kind of seemed like one-sided. So I'm like not too far in, but I'm reading, so I'm counting that as a win. And then I brought back like Harry Potter and stuff because that was just not gonna happen. But I did keep Confess because it's just really short, and I'm hoping that if I get out of the book slump, that this can be a really quick, easy read for me to turn to next. I've also heard that this is some people's like favorite Colleen book, so you know, we'll see how it goes. And then lastly, it's actually a book I bought because of course I'm buying books when I'm not even reading. That's what everyone does. And it's The Addicted to You. I was trying to decide if I wanted to read it on my Kindle or on like a physical book copy. And then I was like, well, I've been attempting to read, or like sort of reading, beach read, so why not get another physical copy book to just like add to my collection? And also I really like the cover, like I think it's really cute. So I'm excited, but I have no clue like who this story follows or anything, but I'm very, very excited to read it. So almost forgot. Obviously I have my Kindle. I always have my Kindle with me, and I got Kingdom of the Feared. So this is bad on my part. This is what happens when I'm in a slump. So I'm like read a couple more chapters of this, and then I downloaded Kingdom of the Feared, and I'm like, I think I'm farther in Kingdom of the Feared than the book I told myself I was gonna read. So if you hear me talking about that book, then that's why. But I don't know how much I want to include, because if you haven't read the other books, then I feel like anything I say about the third book is a spoiler. So we're sort of moving. We are sort of moving through it. Okay, another slight reading update. I am on chapter 9 now. They just got like parked outside their houses, and they made the deal that they're gonna each like flip each other's writing. So he's gonna write like a happily ever after romance book, and she is going to write a like bleak literary fiction book. And I was just thinking how funny it would be to see inside of Gus's head while he was doing the writing, because I feel like he would just be making so many like crude sarcastic comments the entire time. But I do have to say, I'm really, really starting to enjoy January, and just like being inside her head. Homegirl makes some funny ass comments, and I've just been like genuinely enjoying like reading from her point of view. So yeah, the story, I feel like I've finally like hit the plot. So yeah, I don't know if I'll update you guys again tonight because I have a little bit more studying to do, and I have some like dark circles under my eyes. But yes, okay. We just found a big secret out about Gus. He was married, which honestly makes sense considering he was so cynical. Sorry, I gotta like adjust. He was just so cynical about everything, about like love and just like relationships and all of that. And I was like, it had to be more than just like his mom and his parents and stuff. So that makes sense. It also makes sense as to why he was such an ass the night she moved in. Because that was like the anniversary of the day his wife had left him, and it was also his birthday. I wasn't even thinking that, because I was like, he just had always seemed that way, even when she had described him in like the flashbacks of college, that like, I was like, no, my mind didn't even go there. So I'm shocked. He also hasn't been back since they got kicked out of the movie theater. Or not the movie theater, the drive-in, because they like made out in like the trunk of her car. So Pete's the one who told her all of this information. So the next time she goes to see him, she's gonna know this. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll update you guys in a bit. Oh my gosh, guys, the blow up has just hit the fan. She January called Gus out for like not, I think she thought he was making fun of her when they were like taking a shot at the bar, but he wasn't. But she finally like called him out for everything and like told him like, I know you're married, I know you're divorced, like you don't tell me anything, but I'm like telling you everything. And he kind of just like, you know, went back at her as he should and defended himself and like explained everything. And oh my gosh, it's so much worse. His wife left him for the best man. Like, oh, and he even admitted like how cliche that was. But yeah, and just, it was so sad. But at the end of the argument, it's not like either of them admitted this out loud, but it just, the vibe gave off that they both sort of showed each other that they liked each other. I don't know. That was just the vibe I was getting. But I'm gonna keep going. Just major bombs are being dropped. Okay guys, so I have about 50 pages left in my book and it got a little bit cheesy. They told each other I love you, blah blah blah. But it was cute. And now since there's still 50 pages and they're together, I don't think anything's gonna happen with them. But I think we're gonna get some more questions answered, specifically about January's dad. So I probably will not see you guys until I finish the book. Okay guys, so I have finished Beach Read. It is like 2 mornings later or something, and it was really, really good. I'm gonna kind of talk about the things I liked and things I didn't like, or mainly just the things I liked and like how I rated it and stuff. And I will, you know, we'll just get into it. So I have written down on my laptop. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. But I ended up rating it 4 stars. It was really, really good. Definitely a slower start, and there were some things I didn't like love, but I also need to remember this is a romance book. There's not going to be some crazy plot twists or anything like that. So, but I still really, really enjoyed it, especially for a romance book and reading it in the fall, which I wasn't planning on doing. So one of the things that I like loved about the book was that it wasn't just about romance. Like, if you are one of those people who you like romance, but it can't be the entire plot, I genuinely think you would like this book. Even though it's heavier on the side of the romance, it talked about like January's friends and like her family and like relationships in that sense too, and like working through that. And so that just like added another dimension to the book that I think a lot of just plain romance books obviously don't have. The next thing I really liked was January. The entire book is from her POV, which I actually really, really enjoyed. At the beginning, I was just kind of whatever about it, but she gets very funny. Like, being inside her head, I feel like is just so relatable. She says these like really funny one-liners and it's really great. So definitely some very quotable things and relatable things that go on in her head from this book, and just, you know, her thought process behind everything that goes on between her and Gus. Also, Gus, this is like grumpy sunshine trope. So again, I love that. So if you like that, then you'll like this book. But he's grumpy with the aspect of like grumpy, but not like an ass. I feel like a lot of authors, when doing like romance books, if the guy is like the grumpy sunshine trope, the guy can just be mean. Like, he just does really mean things, or he's just kind of like standoffish and just honestly he's just kind of a dick. But Gus is not like that. He's like grumpy in a different, like he's almost like angsty. I hate saying that, but I feel like that's the best way to describe it. He's not like, he's honestly just misunderstood, which is why he comes off as grumpy. But as we like go on in the book, it kind of like talks more about him and his past and like why he is the way he is. But he's like open to growth, which I appreciate, because I feel like a lot of grumpy sunshine books end with like, he's still a grump and like is closed off and just isn't great. And she's like, it's fine. Like, I bring out enough sunshine for the both of us. And that's just, yeah. So I really liked that aspect too. Definitely not like a malicious character, I guess. And then again, kind of circling back to the first point I made about the book being about relationships with other people in the book, not just her and Gus's relationship. I really loved the friendship in this book. Shadi, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I may be totally butchering that, but that's how when I read it, that's how I pronounced it in my head. Their friendship is amazing. It just was so supportive, and I just related to it because it made me think of my friends and just our relationships, and it was a good friendship. So yeah, that was the book. Now the big question, did it cure my slump? Guys, I think it did. I think it did. I am not a big, I do not believe in forcing yourself to read. I feel that can do more harm than good. So I was I'm not in the mood to read, I'm too busy, I'm not gonna read. But almost forcing myself to read a book, sitting down and be no, you need to read. Because I wanted to read, but I just didn't at the same time. Almost was good, because now I'm oh wait, what do I want to read next? And I'm currently reading now My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I had bought it on my Kindle over the summer, pre-ordered it, and then it came out and I never ended up reading it. And now that it's kind of really close to Halloween and stuff, I was I am going to kind of read it, because it's obviously not super scary or anything. It's a Tessa Bailey book, but it's got a little spin on it. So I'm currently reading that, and I am feeling much more positive about books. So my goal for videos is to hopefully come out with a video once a week. But I'm also not wanting to put that much pressure on myself, because we are still deep into the semester, and obviously grades are my most important thing. So it may be every other week, but I'm gonna aim for once a week. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.